Okay, guys, we're back. You'll in your hardware bag, there'll be some really small diameter dowels in there. You'll want to cut one of them up into what I like to call 1/4 inch heavy, which is slightly more than a 1/4 inch. The Cabane struts are made out of 1/8 inch basswood, however you want to pronounce it. Here we call it basswood. And you want to pop out your pieces for your cabanes. There'll be 3 distinct pieces. Let's see here. And we'll get one of each and show you how to put this together. All right, so these little dowels that you cut out that are a little over a 1/4 inch, pin these together and make it real easy to self-jig, self-align. Sometimes they're a little snug. Here again, we've got tolerance buildups that we have to deal with. So we try to make them as snug as possible. You might need a little pair of pliers or something to push them into place. Like so. That's not going to work. Okay, that one went in just fine. That one went in just fine. Okay, so one will fit the back, one will fit the front. I guess I probably should have made a diagram for these, but I don't have that ready for you. So what we'll do is we'll show you how easy it is to figure this out. That's the right one. The important thing is to make sure that they all line up. And you'll know when they line up when you put the pins in, because the top of the cabane strut will be nice and even with the wing saddle. Alright, so now we are going to do the aft one. Put a couple dowel pins in. Oop, there we go. Don't glue them yet. We're just fitting stuff together. And if you do it right, your cabane strut angles are preset. Real easy way to do this. I spent a lot of time on getting the tolerances just right and making sure everything was good. So once you do that, go ahead and put you a drop of glue on the dowels and on the struts. And then on the back side, go ahead and put a drop on each dowel. On the back side here. Okay. The important thing to remember about the cabane struts is you have to make a mirror copy. The first one is like that. So we need to make a mirror copy that is exactly opposite of that. And we'll go ahead and fit some more dowel pins into here. first one. And second one. And I need to cut one more because that other one's just a little too thick. Roll it around the knife. You can pop it right off. Well, I guess that whole that's the one that's the problem. I've got one dowel that's just a little oversized. So if you run into that problem, just take your sanding block and roll it around it just a little bit. These are pretty consistent, so I'm hoping I was the lucky one and got the one that didn't fit quite right. But go ahead and push that pin in. And then you can align those and push those in. Same with the front. It's a pretty snug fit, but you'll see that we have mirror copies. The vertical uprights will go against the fuselage, and the wing saddles will go outboard of the fuselage. Okay, since I already glued that one, I'll glue this one. Put a drop of glue on each joint. And there we have our cabanes. Now we can take our sanding block and sand off the excess dowels. They sand off pretty quick, so that's no big worries. You want to sand them smooth to make them look nice, just like that. This other side won't take as much. If you got a whole bunch of excess, like on this one, I cut that one a little long, you can go ahead and take your knife and trim it off. Rock your knife back and forth to do it. And you can see I trimmed it off pretty nice, but if they're real close, just go ahead and just sand them off. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay. Like I said, we've already sanded our fuselage. And it's ready for the cabanes to be mounted. If you don't sand your fuselage before you install the cabanes, you won't be able to sand this area, make it nice and smooth and ready for paint. Okay, so on the fuselage, there are two locating holes. The forward locating hole, take one of your other small dowel pins, push it through your cabane, and carefully run it through the other side. Okay? That's pretty easy, wasn't it? Now on the bottom one, there's another locating pin hole. Run it through there, run it through the other side. Then you can take your other cabane and carefully push it into place. It'll take a little bit of wiggling and tongue holding. It helps if you twist the dowel just a little bit if it's starting difficult. And as you can see, it's pretty hard not to get them perfectly aligned. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue, making sure that it's flush against the fuselage side. Hardly any pressure, just light pressure, and glue them in place. Again, make sure it's just light pressure and glue them in place. Okay. Don't worry about gluing the dowels at this point. Make sure it's snug up against the fuselage side. And then wait just a little bit, let it all set up. And then once it's set up, you can take your hobby knife, or you can take a Zona saw and cut them off flush, which is what I prefer to do. And cut that one off. It's been a long day. It's really hot in the shop. It's about 90 degrees and about 70% humidity. So I'm a little slower than I normally am. But you can see how easy these little dowel alignment pins cut off. Now the top one we're not going to worry about cutting out in the middle, but this bottom one we need to cut it flush with the fuselage side on the inside. Which doesn't take a whole lot. Okay, so there we go. Our biplane struts are installed and ready to go and perfectly aligned. There's pretty much no way you can get these wrong. I know I hate to say that, but I spent a lot of time making sure that we could get this top wing aligned just right and get it very consistent. So at this point, we're gonna call this part one of the Honker Bite 250 fuselage build, and get this posted because we got a lot of kits that got delivered today, and we want to make sure that everybody gets this just right. The rest of it's pretty easy and pretty simple, but the most important parts was the push rods. Make sure you put those in before you put the bottom on. Make sure you sand the fuselage real nice for your covering or paint, however you choose, before you install your cabanes. All right, so we're going to conclude this video right now, and then we'll upload part 2 tomorrow of the fuselage build, and we'll see you guys later. So have fun and God bless.